Hey guys, welcome back to the channel today. So we're actually driving the 300. It has been a month since I've driven this car, maybe over. So yeah, it's been over a month since I've driven this car, which sucks because I love driving it. It's an awesome vehicle. It looks sharp, and it's just really a great car. I think the last time I drove it was when I got new tires on it. So we're gonna take it out on the road today and give you my thoughts about it here. I love the vehicle. It is sweet, and it looks really nice. All right, back in the 300. So yeah, it's been just about a month since I've driven the 300, maybe 3 weeks. And you know, as much sitting as this car does now, I'm actually thoroughly impressed how everything is holding up. You know, I do try to at least start it maybe once or twice here every couple weeks, just to keep everything clean and clear and lubricated. Because if you don't run these SRT vehicles, then of course you're running into some issues. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Just saw some people I knew. That's one thing about this car, that you always get looks in it, and that's why I frankly love driving it. I haven't found a 300 with lower miles. I've only seen a few that are in good condition like mine. Geez, I can't even talk here. So yeah, I'm in love with the vehicle still. You know, as the summer goes on here so far, and I drive vehicles less and less, just because I seem to get busier and busier as the weeks and months go on. It's always crossed my mind if I'm going to sell this or not, but I am not going to sell it because this is a kick-ass vehicle. Really, at the end of the day, this is a high-performance machine that kicks some ass on the streets, especially with the new tires that I just put on. Oh goodness, yeah, it's pretty kick-ass. One thing that I do have to say here, in order to have some serious fun with this vehicle, it's really like a Jekyll and Hyde. You have to keep it higher in the rev range, so 4,000 to 6,000 RPMs. It definitely helps to have a little bit more fun here. And as we get going, I'll kind of demonstrate that once the engine warms up. I don't push my SRT vehicle, specifically this 300, because I don't drive it. I don't push it until everything gets warmed up, because, you know, I don't want any issues to arise with it. But we'll pull down the sunroof here. But when you're just cruising along like this in the 1 to 3,000 RPM range, it's pretty quiet. It's actually the only thing I hear is the little bit of exhaust and intake and tire noise. So these tires that I have on are louder, and I think it's more because of the Eagle F1 supercar tires that I have on. The rear tires aren't actually that bad, but I believe it's because of the front tires are a little bit of a harder tire. So in my mind, that's going to be a little bit louder. But other than that, this thing is just quiet, just a perfect, really, it's a perfect highway cruiser, in my opinion. One thing you do have to watch out for with these SRTs, this is kind of more of an update video here, the temperature sometimes does get a little bit higher, and I haven't, in my vehicles yet, I have not installed a 180-degree thermostat. That's a critical thing you got to do with these vehicles, in my opinion. I haven't done that yet, frankly, because I don't drive these hard, and I just don't drive enough, which is kind of sad. But this year, I think I put on, that can't be right, 368 miles this year. I guess that could very well be right. So 368 miles, not a ton of miles on the vehicle so far. As fun as it is to drive, I bought it last year, and I only had this in the truck, so I was putting more miles on this. I put about 4,000 miles on this last year, and now this year I expect to drive it a lot less, which is okay. I do plan on keeping this vehicle on this vehicle still after being, 17 years old. The suspension is tight, the steering is tight, the bearings are good. Everything is great for the most part. And the nice thing about these cars is I don't have to worry about any breakdowns or anything like that, because my SRT vehicles I don't take on road trips. I think the farthest I drove this car was from where I bought it, 3 hours away from my house. Otherwise, I do not take road trips with these vehicles. As fun as they may be to take, I just don't. So, alright, car's warming up here. What that person's doing. Illegal speeds very fast just off that little pole. Oh my goodness. And that's why I love this car. This has a BBK cold air intake on the front. Phenomenal intake. I would buy another one of those in a heartbeat. You hear the intake so much compared to my Challenger SRT8. That's got more exhaust. This has just the stock exhaust on. You can hear the intake on this. It sounds like it's breathing fire. It sounds like it's a fire-breathing freaking dragon. And frankly, that's what makes this car fun. I love that V8 noise. I just almost hit a bird. You really can't beat the noise of this car. The visceral experience of the 300 of any SRT vehicle is something that, whether it's old or new, you have to experience. Any performance V8, you gotta experience that noise, because it's, quite frankly, it's a ton of fun to drive. As we go around this corner, oh God, as we get it in the rev range, Jesus criminy, just holds the corners so well. Too fun. Oh my goodness. And yeah, right there the temperature is getting up there a little higher, maybe rolling around 200 degrees when you are giving it, and now it's dropping down when you go light on the throttle back to around that 190, 185 point. I actually have it right here, except it's in Celsius. So it was at 94 degrees Celsius, now it's down to 90, so it does drop a little bit here as you're just cruising. And the comfort of this car is so, if I were to take my hat off here and just sit in the vehicle, the comfort of this car is second to none. Maybe my E350 or E550 that I had, not E350, goodness. My E550 that I had was a little bit more comfortable, but these seats are so soft and couch-like that they are the most comfortable seats that I have in any of my vehicles and that I've ever sat in. The ergonomics of my E550 were a little bit better, but these seats hold you in place more, and they definitely, it's a shame that Dodge or Chrysler didn't put these seats in more vehicles, because for the plebeian vehicles that they made, these seats would have been perfect for road tripping. My Ram truck has great seats, and I love the fact that you can use that as a road trip vehicle, which we primarily do, but it would be nice to have these seats, and for the most part these seats are fantastic, except they needed to be in more plebeian trims instead of an S model or an RT Daytona model, something like that, because people like me, I don't like to rack the miles up on these vehicles. So it's a shame that I don't get to sit in these seats more, because these are hands down some of the best seats that I have sat in. Oh my goodness, this thing is just a monster. You think you fall out of love with the vehicle, and then you're back in it. And then you're back in it and you realize why you love the vehicle so damn much. Because of the visceral sound, the aesthetics of it, the design. design language of it, the driving characteristics of it, and for me, this is my vehicle. This is my it's like your first love. This is my first love. And ever since this came out in 2005, when I was a little kid, I think I was 8 years old at the time. Of course, you can't afford a vehicle, you can't even drive at 8. So ever since then, I've wanted a 300 SRT8 in black, this exact spec, and I finally got it. So that's pretty cool as someone who, you know, was able to grow up in an era with these vehicles. And of course, yes, I have more dream cars now. I'd love to get a Charger. Oh, I'd love to get a 300C 392. But along with that, I'd love to get a TRX. I'd love to get a Challenger Hellcat manual, and I'd love to get a Charger King Daytona. But that's never going to happen. Maybe late in my life. But for right now, this car is just beautiful. It's gorgeous. As an update video here, I guess driving this in the 10 or so minutes that I'm doing this, I've kind of fallen back in love with the vehicle and realized why I still pay insurance on this car, because I love it. I love it. I have had 0 issues with it. I've only had to replace the tires and do some oil changes, and it's, well, 1 oil change, and it's been bulletproof since then. It's just a blast to drive. And guys, if you're looking at getting any of the Mopar vehicles, any of these SRT vehicles, check out the 300. It combines luxury for its time, a subtle appearance, power, and comfort all into one package. And you could throw a blower on this engine. This engine is very tunable. Mine's making about 470 right now. It's very tunable with simple stuff. And you can kick ass on the streets and take your family out for ice cream if you really want to do that. It's just a fantastic vehicle, and for that, I'm still glad I love this car and plan to keep it for a while. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, like and subscribe. We will see you in the next episode. Hopefully more 300 SRT content to come. All right, guys, take care.